Good morning, everyone for judges. My arguments here go 100% myself as individuals. When a war or conflict happen, like post-civil war, regime change, or colonialism, people as a nation more familiar to the role of ordinary people in the war, such as soldiers and social groups that usually discuss about the war or the conflict. We assume they suffer many pain from the war and watch their family, friends, relatives pass away because of it. And the problem is they are innocent here. They don't have many knowledge about what happened between their government officials and state leader that somehow make them just follow the policy and rules from the government, and they just obey it without knowing what's their leader and official thing and what the real problem behind the war and the conflict. And the goal is to make the society knows and focus more on what the role of their leader, institution, and governments in this conflict to make this conflict ends by using the top-down historiography to interpret history in the history textbooks. So the historiography is a method, perspective, and approaches used to write and interpret history. And the second is bottom-up historiography, focus on the roles of ordinary people, social groups, and grassroots movement in shaping history. And the third is top-down historiography, focus on the roles of leaders, government, and major institution in shaping history. So because we have known the definition, so we are agree if we have to focus on the top first, then we move to know what happened in the down, and we don't agree if the textbook is more focused on the roles of ordinary people or social groups by using top bottom-up historiography. So we should know why is it urgent to using top-down historiography more than bottom historiography. So I don't agree with what the opposition team say if we say that the textbook, I don't agree with what the government team said that the textbook using bottom-up historiography is more objective because it based on peer reviews. Because the top-down historiography are seeing the conflict from many point of view too. Government and leader who are the one that taking the crucial decision on the war, and their nation will just follow it. So it's important to learn why they take the decision and why the impact from it. It can make the nation or the people who live in the country criticize more about what their leader decide, and it will make them become more rational in making decisions, even if sometimes the leader doesn't hurt them. Like what happened in America, people know that the soldiers are the official bottom of the state leader, just do what the state leader asks and decide. That's why many people become angry on what their leader decision, because they know what the real role of the state leader and what should the leader do when there is a conflict. So as the nation, we can criticize, we can do a demo about what our state leader decide. And as the opposition team, I never think that learn history from a textbook that use a top-down history is easier, and it becomes the lack of the government team. Why? Because I never think that learn history from the textbook is because learning history from the top government, from the top like government leader and etc. is the same hard as learn from the bottom first. We have to know and understand why the government take this decision, sometimes a decision, and why they have to choose these ways. Sometimes a war or conflict happen because of the leader decision, like Israel versus Iran, Ukraine versus Russia, or in the past like Soviet and Nazi. All that conflict happened because the leader took wrong decision and the ordinary people become the victim. So if we become the people of the post-conflict country, we already know about the decision about the condition of the ordinary people, of the role of ordinary people, of the role of social groups. We already know about it. So if we and we have suffered many pain. And we don't want to remember that thing because we are in the conflict now, we are in the war now, and we have lost many friends, many people just because the war. So we have to know about the leader decision so that we will more national about our country. And the third is learning history from the textbook. That using a top-down history doesn't mean we romanticizing some leader, but it means we can know why they take the decision and learn not to take the wrong decision again when it happened, when the conflict happened, when a conflict happened. As people who live in post-conflict country, it's time to just learn what happened in the lower class life, what the role of the ordinary people. We know as other people who learn from the textbooks, and because we have to position ourselves as a person who are in the post-conflict people. So so I don't agree with the argument from the government team that we just romanticizing the leaders or a person because from romanticizing the leaders. And the fourth is it's wrong that we learn and that if we learn top history, there are people who have no experience like us because they have privilege. It's wrong because look at our hero in the past that used to fight colonialism. They are from ordinary people too, like us, that suffer many pain, that have that struggle about this country. They know and suffer the same pain as us, even if they got the privilege. But as the colonial countries, how big is the privilege? Because and they are tortured by the colonials by the colonials too because of what they do to fight for the freedom of this colonial country. And we feel more nationality because by read the story of them, of their fight, their struggle, we can support them to fight for this country, and we know this structure. And for the argument, the government is the one who takes the crucial decision. The top-down historiography doesn't just focus on the person itself, but we can learn how this country become, why it takes the decision, and make us more in this country. And we don't just romanticize the person or reader, but we learn the strategic the thoughts and the thoughts to fight for this. And if they have a privilege, it's become a beneficial for us because the privilege comes to the right person that fight for our country. And what about the bad leader one? We as the nation, we should criticize them, and we can learn from the behavior, so we won't choose the wrong person again to become our leader. And I'm proud to be